Hello, I'm Jason Robertson, the Teletext Archaeologist, and this is episode 1 of Envision. Now, I don't know what day it is where you are, but here it's National Teletext Day! That's meant to be one of those blowers, by the way, one of the party blowers that you and then the thing comes out and it makes a noise, but I haven't got any, so, that just have to use your imagination. Hope you like the hat. It's my special 1980s Top of the Pops hat. Good day to you. So, anyway, for this first episode, I thought we'd have a look, go back far into the past to the earliest teletext service that anybody has anywhere. It's from 1975, and it came to us from a videotape kindly donated by the TV Museum. So, thank you very much, the TV Museum. Let's crack on. So first of all, I'm only going to show you the frames. I can't show you this in action because I haven't processed the data to do that yet, but I can show you these frames individually. And what we're looking at here is how the 1975 page looks on a normal teletext TV. So as you can see, it looks pretty mashed up. There's bits of the graphic missing. Graphics characters where there should be text, it's all a bit messed up. That's because the attribute codes were different in 1975. So, for example, in level 1 teletext, 01 means red, red characters. It might mean something else in 1975. But I have a mode for that. Let's change that, and there it is. Magically it appears. Let's also change the character set to a more its era. There it is. That's what teletext looked like on the 30th of August 1975. So there's a few things to note. I mean, in the header there we've got P100 and these zeros have got slashes through them to show the numbers, but on the header itself, after it says Ceefax, it says 100, but that's using the letter O, a capital letter O, to represent 0 there. Same with the date. The time is missing its usual colon that it has in Ceefax. Yeah, I mean, in the early days, Ceefax did used to use a capital O rather than using a numeric 0. I think old school typewriters, people just typed a capital O instead of using a 0, and it saved a key. Here's some headlines. So it's all nice and colourful. Tells you what time it was updated. A few news items there. I think we'll dwell on those for too long. Carivari, I've no idea how you say it. That probably isn't it. This was like the sort of and finally part of Ceefax. On this occasion it's talking about how free beer for brewery workers proved explosive for one man. He had wandered into Whitbread's brewery in Luton, where workers are allowed 3 free pints a day, and spent an afternoon drinking in the staff bar. After he staggered out of the bar, then fell off his bicycle at the main gate, security men discovered that he worked at the factory next door. Yesterday in the Luton court, he pleaded guilty to stealing an unknown amount of beer and was fined £50. Only in the 70s. Here's a nice boat. Now, this is using a character that's unique to this really early character set here, so it's got this sloping underscore thing going on. It's using that to good effect there. The weather page. So, one thing you'll notice with this immediately is the big black line separating into two colours there. So that is because in order to change a colour from one to another, we need to use a character in order to tell the decoder to change the colour. So we're going from yellow to red there, so there is a code in here that says switch to graphics red. But the decoder is just displaying a blank space because it's a control code. It does, there's nothing else it can do with it. Later on, held graphics was introduced. With hold graphics turned on, it remembers the last graphics character that you used, and instead of a blank space where it's changing the attribute, it will display that graphics character instead, giving the effect of moving straight from yellow to red with no black line. TV now. So BBC One tonight, what's on? Saturday Night at the Movies, Blue Hawaii, Elvis film. Dick Emery Show. Kojak, American Import, the news at 9:50. News is always in a different colour for some reason in the 70s. Who knows? Match of the Day and Parkinson. So it's a fairly standard really. We've got a film there, we've got some comedy, we've got some drama, football after the news, and then a chat show. So I'm not really sure that type of lineup has changed much over the years. BBC Two though, what have we got there? An investigation of a faith healer, classical music, another music, military music after that, cricket. It's very BBC Two. And the late film. This is the index of the business and electronics section now, so we should start getting a bit more interesting in terms of teletext related stuff. Now this page is about, this is Ceefax. This is the video that Angela Rippon made around the same time, and you can see that on YouTube. I'll put a link into the notes, so you don't have to write to Peter Saxton to get a copy. It's on the YouTube. £150 for a 16mm colour film. Now look at that, £125 for a video cassette. Must have been N1500 maybe. But you know, £125 is a lot of money in 1975. That's proper expensive. There are so few teletext sets about at this point. I guess if the public wanted to see a teletext set, the best place to go would be somewhere like this at the Science Museum, where you can go and have a go of it, try it out, because this would have been white, burning hot technology at the time. It would have been the future. That would have been very exciting to go and see. So, yeah, this is talking about subpages here. So this time the subpages A and B are at the bottom right. Engineering information, brilliant. So we've got a picture of a mast there, made out of brackets and colons. And this is talking about different engineering protocols for Ceefax. So from Monday, September the 1st, the full Ceefax magazine of news information will be transmitted on BBC Two as well as BBC One. That kind of suggests that it wasn't being transmitted on BBC Two at the time. Or maybe some test service was. It's hard to know. We'd need a videotape to know this. Using a slightly different technical standard. Now this let's read on. The common standard agreed between Bremer, the BBC and the IBA in May 1944. I don't think that's right. There we go, change that. That's a recovery error. The common standard agreed between Bremer, the BBC and the IBA in May 1974 has been modified in order to provide a few alternatives to the original range of characters, make the allocation of control characters more compatible with other teletext systems. Teletext. What's going on there? So this will probably be a step towards having the same standard as Oracle in the development of world standard teletext, which came about in 1976. So that sounds like it's heading in that direction. And I do have another capture from 1976 where it's talking about the two standards. The reason why they did this is because some teletext, because once you've got a teletext decoder, that's it, that's the decoder you've got. You can't just reprogram it over the air or pop a firmware update in, because that just doesn't happen. It's not a computer. It's basically discrete chips that are generating the teletext. So you're kind of stuck with it really. If you want to change it, you have to swap the chips out. So what they're doing here is they're broadcasting Ceefax in two different modes. One, so as the existing decoders can still use teletext, and two, so that the new standard gets an airing, so that the new decoders can take advantage of the new facilities. But of course, at this point, Teletext hasn't coalesced into a standard yet. It's still very much an experimental service, and it was, at the time, it wasn't even clear that it would be allowed to continue. So there's mentions in the contemporary press about how the Ceefax trials have been extended till the end of the year, etc. So there was no guarantee that it was going to be even continuing to run. So so it's on the next page. So Ceefax on BBC One will continue for the time being to use the original technical standards agreed in 1974. So this is the old school standard, which is this one. And Ceefax on BBC Two will provide an opportunity for the television industry to try out the modified teletext standard. Right, okay, so teletext is a new word here, so it's this is why it's in inverted quotes. Not inverted quotes, in quotes. So the original standard agreed in 1974, that's the Ceefax standard. But it's talking about teletext now, so this is a new sort of industry-wide agreed standard, which is being called teletext as opposed to being called Ceefax. So the word teletext is a new word here. Finance section next. Farm prices. Electronics shares. Yeah, at this point, there's not many decoders about. People don't generally tend to have it in the homes. Really, it's only going to be enthusiasts who have decoders at home, people who've made the decoders themselves from kits. So magazines like Wireless World at the time, there was instructions on how to build a teletext decoder from a kit. So, but you'd have to make it yourself, and you'd have to. I mean, it's those sort of people who'd be able to swap the chips out in order to take advantage of the new teletext standard as opposed to the old Ceefax standard. Football. Well, Stoke in the top half, that's something. Competition. So the divider typeface for display on screen, but they wanted to give it a name, like, because fonts have to have names, don't they? Here it is. And what we don't know yet is what the font actually got called. So we don't. Hopefully, one day a tape will turn up and it will have on it, and the winner is whoever, and they called the font whatever they called it. Blocky. Test pages. This is a long-standing feature of teletext is a clock cracker. What is a clock cracker? Well, I will tell you. The characters in the clock cracker there, the block and the slash, the divide sign, they are designed to be the longest stretch of zeros and ones that you can have in teletext. So basically, it's you'd have 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, and then 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, and it's what it's designed to do is to trip up the clock within the decoder. So the clock, the signal will be flat for 0, so you'd have no signal, and high for 1. So it would be a long time low, and in order to get the correct amount of zeros, the clock has to chop up the into the right number of zeros to get the correct data out. So if the clock is out, then you're not going to get the correct row of binary data, and you're going to get corruptions in the characters. So it's supposed to look like a block and a divide, block divide, block divide. But if the clock's out, you'll get corruption in there. It'll start displaying other characters. So it's basically to check the timing within the decoder. So this page is a very early test page, and it's basically giving all the attribute codes a run out. That's what this is showing. It's showing all the different attributes that you can have. So you've got white alphanumeric, red alphanumeric, etc. You can have flash mode turned on, it's not shown here. White graphics, and that's just basically showing many of these attributes on screen at once, so we can see if anything's not working. Here we've got a few geometric patterns, which are very early graphics there that they're using to show off the system. Now this might be drawn by Mort Smith, using good use of the divide symbol there for the C. And a nice blocky design there. Well, amazingly in 1975 we had Ceefax animations. Let's see. Get this one here. So we've got house, road with fences, the cars come together closer and closer until smash, and that's, I don't know what that is, ambulance, police. There we go. Have a very exciting animation there. Hold on to your hats. Awesome. Page 150. That was used to be the news. Well, it's supposed to be the news flash now. Looking at the page there, I was just showing the index page. I would imagine this is because Ceefax is only updated between 8 AM and 6 PM, and it's now 20 past 11. Everyone's gone to bed, so it's just showing the index page. And for some reason, we don't know why, the newsflash page always has an A at the end of it in the header. Don't know why. Can't imagine why. Finally, page 160 talks about Ceefax. So Ceefax is an exciting new dimension in television, a means of presenting printed news information on the screen. The viewer, with the Ceefax decoder built into or added to his set, has instant push button access to a variety of pages, use words and colours. Ceefax also uses graphics. The symbol can be built up using shapes like these, and these can give you a nice car or a TV set with Ceefax on it. Nice, and that's it. That's the whole thing. So it's very much a test article in 1975, but it's fascinating to go back and see what was on the service at the time. And that's about all we've got time for this time, but as you can see here, you can get in touch with me on Twitter at @grim_fandango, via Facebook at facebook.com/teletextarchaeologist. On YouTube, you'll have to search Teletext Archaeologist because they won't give me a page because I haven't got enough subscribers. So like and subscribe. And on Instagram, you can get me on instagram.com/teletextarchaeologist, but Instagram only lets you post one picture at a time, so it's a bit disappointing. But anyway, see you next time.